Hey, Viking fans, Coach Crane here. Today's the day, the big day, the big day. We got Jaron Hall starting and likely the pivotal game for the Viking season. Are they still going to try to make the playoffs and have a chance, or is this going to be the end of the season basically as far as playoff hopes go? Personally, I'm not going to cry either way. I think even if we got in the playoffs, we're just too inconsistent unless the quarterback play is really good today. We're just too inconsistent to do anything anyways. So I don't want to use the word tank, but work on that draft pick. Maybe we can get up in the top 10. It is possible if the right teams lose, but the odds aren't great. So yeah, I wonder what's going to happen today. Anyways, I've heard a lot of talk lately. A lot of Vikings fans and supporters, a lot of people out there saying, we got to re-sign Kirk Cousins and do such and such with certain players. Um, the salary cap is a huge issue coming up, and I've been thinking about that a lot, and it actually kind of keeps me up at night. What are we going to do salary cap wise? Can we re-sign all these guys? Can we do that? So I wanted to go over that a little bit. See what your thoughts are. Which guys do you guys want to keep? Which guys do you think we should get rid of? What can we do? Um, Personally, I'd like to move on from Kirk Cousins, and we could definitely use the salary cap space. Uh, but we got to have something. We got to have something to go to. So I hope Jaron Hall looks great, but if he doesn't, we got to go at it through the draft. I'm thinking, and the great news is that gives us 5 years of a low salary on the quarterback. We can use that money to re-sign other guys like Danielle Hunter and bring in some new players possibly. So let's take a look at this. Let's break this down here. Okay, so let's look at the Vikings salary cap here. Okay, so we're on over the cap, and it's really cool. I got to give these guys credit, man. They got an interactive salary cap chart where you can make decisions on guys. Okay, so if you think about this for a second, right now we have 7 million under the cap. The Vikings have 7 million for the rest of this year. Going into next year, 37 million. Okay, that sounds awesome. It's like, woo, we can go sign all these dudes. No, that's not including Kirk Cousins and that's not including Danielle Hunter. It's not including a lot of guys. Okay, so we got to make decisions on those guys right now. So, can we re-sign Kirk? Can we re-sign Danielle? Can we re-sign some of the other guys? Let's find out. Okay, so let's go through this here. All right, so Danielle Hunter, what do you guys say? I think we got to re-sign him, man. He's having a really good year. He looks like he's healthy. Looks like he's still a badass, and we got to lock this dude up. So let's try that real quick. You can actually go in here and do this. Okay. So we actually get to sign him. All right. So his base salary this year was 10 million with a 9 million bonus and then some other bonuses, yada, 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 yada. He ends up with a 20 million cap number. Now he's going to be a true free agent. And we can't even franchise tag him. That was in his contract because he was so pissed off because he wasn't making any money for years, I guess. Um, that's his problem, not ours, right? So we got to compete. So there's probably going to be some other bidders. So I'm thinking we got to up this a little bit. Okay, so let's make his base salary 15 million. Man, that's a lot of money. Man, that's a lot of money. Okay. Um, and then let's guarantee 12 of it. All right. So he's got a cap number of 22 million. I don't know if we can get him for that or not. I mean, he's pushing 30 now. I don't know. Probably not, but maybe. Let's try it. See if it's even in the ballpark on the salary cap. Okay. So I'll do this for 2 years. So we're going to lock him up for 2 more years, okay? Same deal. And we'll guarantee 12 million of it. Okay. Heck, let's throw in another bonus tied to performance of $1 million for the year. I'm sure he'd appreciate that. Okay, so brings his cap number up to 23 million for the next 2 years. I think we have a chance at him for that, but it could definitely be more. Okay, so let's put that in. Okay, so that brings our cap space down to 28 for next year. Still looking good, right? Okay. Um, let's work on Kirk Cousins. Personally, I don't want to bring him back. If we don't bring him back, it'll save 7 million. And did you guys know that we're paying this dude 20 million next year, even if he's not on the roster. Yeah, we put in a void year at the end of this last contract. Uh, where they lengthened it, and to save on the cap hit, that's built in there. So we have a lot of dead money. Vikings have 46 million in dead money. We'll talk more about that in a second. Okay, so let's go look at Kirk Cousins. Let's say we're going to extend him, even though I don't want to. Let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so let's go, what, 2 more years? Let's give him a base salary of 10. Let's just stay with his contract now. I don't think that's going to work, actually. Just 1 second. I'm not the greatest at math. Yeah, 20 million cap number. That's not going to happen, right? So let's give him, let's just make it 20. So he's getting a bonus of 10. Yeah, maybe, right? Maybe. I say let's next year we'll guarantee a lot of it to make him happy. He's coming back off an injury. And so we'll go ahead and guarantee 10 million more. So he's going to get 10 million even if he gets busted up again. And I say the last year we don't guarantee any. So if we got to cut his butt, we can cut his butt. Okay. So he's got a 30 million cap number. You guys think that's too low? Yeah, I'm thinking that's too low too. Man, I hate to pay this dude 40 million, but anyways, let's act like that's going to work. Okay. And then we can get out of it after the first year if we have to. Okay. So let's put that in. Boom. Okay. Now we're down to 26 million for next year. Okay, so still looking pretty good, right? Still looking pretty good. Let's see. Harrison Smith is still locked up. Brian O'Neill is still locked up. You guys can cut them pre June 1st, and what you see over here is here's their salary. Here's how much you would, or I'm sorry, these are the dead money you would have if you cut them before June 1st, and this is the savings you would get back. So these guys are underwater. It's like having a car where you owe more on it than it's worth. So it would be really stupid of us to cut this guy right now, okay? Because we would eat 7 million right there. All right. I mean, we'd save 7 million, but we'd eat 19 million. Sorry. So we're underwater on these guys, which that's not a big deal. It's just you don't want to cut those guys, okay? Um, so for instance, like Jordan Hicks, uh 4 million in dead money, 250,000 savings. Okay. These guys are negative savings, if that makes any sense. So just to give you an example. So if it's a positive number on the bottom here, you do save some money. So it can help you, but I'd rather keep Jordan Hicks than get a 250,000. That's pretty much chump change right now. Now, if we go down to DJ Wanham, here's a big one, okay? If you cut him, you're only going to have $187,000 of dead money, but you'll save 2.7 million to the cap. We might need that, okay? Because Jefferson's going to break the bank after next year. Probably going to go up to 28, 30 million a year, the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. We got to get that somewhere. Right now, we don't have enough to pay him, unless we get rid of some dudes, okay? So that's a possibility, right? Maybe we cut DJ Wanham. I don't know who we replace him with. That's the problem. Maybe we go ahead and make it through one more year and then get rid of him, or re-sign him to a friendly deal. But I think he's going to get a raise. So I'm saying we cut him right now, even though I don't think the Vikings will. But this is what I would do. Okay, so I'm going to cut him. All right, and then if you see that our cap space goes up to 10 million for this year. It doesn't affect next year, but it saves us whatever we would have renegotiated with him in a raised contract. Okay, so he's off the books. We better draft another edge rusher. All right. Byron Murphy, we're underwater. Got to keep him pretty much. Okay. KJ Osborne gives us a ton of savings if we cut him before June. 66,000 in dead money, but 2.7 million in cap savings. I love me some KJ Osborne, but he gone. Gone. Sorry, KJ. Get a new team, dude. And if you see again, saves us 2 million for this year, and then whatever we would have had to renegotiate for the next year. So that's a lot of money in savings there. Okay. CJ Ham, interesting one. Dead money 4 million, savings negative 1.4. I wish we could cut him. I don't think we need him. The dude hardly plays. He's 30 years old. How hard is it to get a fullback that plays 5 plays a game? Come on, Vikings. You're paying this dude way too much. And that's nothing against CJ Ham. He does a good job at what he does. But we just don't need him. We don't use him. Okay. Here's a big one. Dalton Reisner. Okay. We just signed him this year. Um, his cap number is 2.6 million right now. If we cut him, we would have well, his contract's going to run out. So that's 2.6 million that would go in for next year. Otherwise, we have to re-sign him. So I'm thinking we're going to re-sign him. I think that's what the Vikings are going to do. So let's do something similar to what he's making now. Blah, 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 blah. Let's add some more years on. What do you guys think? A 3-year deal, about the same as what he's making. Um, let's do that. Okay, so non-prorated with guaranteed salary. Yeah. So he's making about 3 million a year right now. And I can't change this. I don't know how the bonus thing works. And that's okay. I don't have to. All right, let's bump him up to 3. And then let's bump him up to 3, 5. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, he's probably gonna want a little raise here, right? Let's go 3, 3. Seriously? Boom. Okay. So he's getting a little bump, but we're staying in the ballpark. Okay. He's probably gonna need $1 million signing bonus or something like that. Yeah, that's not bad. That's similar to where we've been. Okay. So again, watch the cap space. Now we were at 12 million in 26. We do this and extend him for 2 years. 12 million in 23. Okay. We can live with that. Let's see. I'm not doing anything with that. Okay. Lewis Seen. Jeez, this I'm sorry, man. These are the things that make me doubt KOC and Quasi. We drafted this dude with our first round pick. Um, and now he's tied up for almost 3 million a year and he can't even get on the field. I mean, I think he's doing a little bit of special teams. That's first round pick, guys. What are we doing? What are we doing? And then that safety is on Baltimore. He was a 10, well, 20 picks before Lewis Seen or whatever. We could have drafted him and we traded back and we draft a dude we can't even get out on the field with a first round pick. This cannot happen. This cannot happen. Anyways, we're upside down big time on him, so we'll probably keep him. Same with Josh Oliver. Same with Jordan Addison, of course. Madison. Yikes. A lot of people have been dogging him pretty bad. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of explosive plays, but I think it was the Bears game. Was it the Bears game? In the Broncos game? There, he had a couple games in there where he broke a ton of tackles and he ran hard, man. He ran like a dude. And I actually didn't mind the guy. I mean, he's not going to break you that 80, 90-yard run, but man, he fought like heck for some yards. He broke a lot of tackles. I was pretty impressed with him. It seems like he wasn't ready when the season started, though. I don't know if what was going on there. I don't remember if he had any injuries in the offseason, but it just seems like he wasn't very productive at the beginning of the year. So, anyways, we're upside down. We got to keep him. 2.4 million cap number, no big deal. Garrett Bradbury's locked up. Dean Lowry. Yeah, I don't know if that was a good signing either, but anyways, here's the one. Josh Metellus. This is the steal of the year. 2 million in salary cap. He's only 25 years old. And that dude, he's had a really good year. A really good year. He's worth every penny of that. He has a couple bad plays here and there. He misses tackles, but compared to the rest of the defense, man, that dude does a lot of stuff. He does a good job. Our kicker, we could save 300,000 if we don't, well, we'd save 1.7 million if we don't renew his contract. Uh, I'm not a big fan, but a lot of people are. I don't know. I might go ahead and cut him and save that. It's not much for this year, but that's 1.7. We're not paying out for next year. And they just go sign somebody else. I think you could get an average kicker, which I think he's an average kicker for a little less than that, and probably a younger dude too. Andrew Booth Jr. not going anywhere. Nick Mullins. Oh boy. Um, what do we do here? His cap number is not even 2 million, which is really cheap for a quarterback, but you kind of get what you pay for, right? Is he a backup? Can y'all live with him as a backup? I can't. I'd rather have him off the roster. But you can see here it's not going to save you anything. And yeah, what if we cut him post 6-1? If we cut him after June 1st, at least we don't get negatives. We still have 1.5 million in dead money. We only save almost 200,000. Guys, I think we're stuck with him unless somebody wants to trade for him. What happens if we trade him? Interesting. We would save 975,000. Would anybody trade for him? You guys think anybody would trade for him? I'm kind of thinking not. If we traded him after 6-1, we'd actually save 1.3 million on the cap for next year. And I'm sick of watching the dude fumble the ball and throw picks and all that crap. I think we can find somebody else or draft somebody. And like I said, maybe Jaron Hall looks really good today. We'll see, right? So let's find out. I'm gonna go ahead and cut him or trade him. Sorry, trade him. Okay, cool. Chris Reed, is he even playing? We'd save 1.2 million by cutting him. He's gone, dude. Yeah, we don't, nope. Ed Ingram, we got to keep him. He's a starter right now too. He's according to PFF, he's having a pretty good year. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he'll get a little better every year. Patrick Jones, honestly, I've never thought much of the guy, but he's never got to play much. But the last couple of games, the Detroit game, he made some plays, man. And that dude is ripped. He is huge. He's freaking ginormous, man. He has definitely utilized the Vikings weightlifting program. Oh my God, that dude is big. And he's making plays right now. So, like, his cap number is only 1.3. Um, yeah, man. Uh, I don't know. We might need to re-sign that dude. I think let's see if he's on there for next year. Patrick Jones. Patrick Jones. I'm sure there's an easier way to check this. I just don't know how to work this page yet very well, but I will learn. Yeah, he's gonna be a free agent, it looks like. So we gotta re-sign that dude. I know he's not amazing, but he's had a good year. He's hardly got to play at all, but he's had a good year when I've seen him this year. I like the dude. So I say we re-sign him. Oh, I can't re-sign him? Trade, cut, trade, or cut. Really? Huh. That sucks. I guess it won't let me renegotiate him a deal. I wonder why not. That's weird. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Cam Akers, I don't know if we'll have him back, but he'd save us 1.2 on the cap. No dead money. So that was a good deal. Brian Asamoah, eh, dead money 877, cap savings 369. I guess he's a backup, worst case. Udo, he's not going anywhere right now. Johnny Muntz, I think we could cut him and we would save a lot of money. I don't know. He's 29. Dude barely gets on the field. I'm a let's get rid of him and see what else we can find. Maybe draft a dude in the sixth, seventh round that might give us a little more productivity. So I'm gonna cut him. 16 million in cap space. James Lynch, the dude's been injured almost his whole career. I'm gonna cut him. We're gonna save a million right there. Now, excuse me. I know it seems like, oh man, we got all this money to throw around, but we still got to fill these guys as roster slots. We can't draft all this many guys. So we're going to have to go sign some dudes, but I think we can find some cheap dudes that might be more productive or at least be able to get on the field than these guys. Troy Dye is not a bad backup, and he's cheap. I'd probably extend him. Hmm, Let's try that. Let's go 3 year extension. Keep his cap number about the same. We'll give him a signing bonus of a 500,000. I don't know if that's even within the realm of possibilities. Tell you what, let's make it 750. I didn't mean to do that. $750,000 signing bonus. Cap number stays almost the same. Yeah, let's give him 1 million, huh? All right. Transact. Oh, good. Okay, so we saved that dude. He's still with us for next year for 3 more years. Okay. Moving on down. Austin Schlottman is horrible every time I see him. I don't know why they're so in love with that dude. And he's 28. I we'd save 1 million getting rid of him. I'm gonna get rid of him. Maybe you guys wouldn't do that, but I'd rather go sign somebody else or draft somebody. Keenan Nwangwu, keep him. I like him. He can return kicks. I think he can run the ball a little too if he ever got an opportunity. Cam Bynum, yeah, I don't need to get rid of him. Brandon Powell, fine. David Quessenberry, decent backup. I don't know. We might be able to draft somebody, but I'm not worried about it. He's $1 million. I'd probably keep him for that right now. At least he doesn't glaringly suck when he goes into the game, which is nice. Jonathan Bullard is 30 years old. Wow, man. He's decent. I'd keep him for now till we get somebody better. If we cut him after the draft, oh, well, he'll be a free agent after the draft. I'd probably wait see who we get before June, before we did something with him. Caleb Evans, I'm not a big fan, but again, let's wait and see. Makai Blackman, yeah, he's not going anywhere. He's a starter. Ty Chandler, keep him. Blake Brandell, uh, not a big fan, but I guess he was okay. He's 26. He's okay. We'll leave that alone for now. And anyways, I could do this all day, but if you notice, there's not a lot of other guys that are substantial amounts of salary that we can do anything with, really. Josh Dobbs, I would cut. I hope I don't hurt any feelings there. I would keep Jaron Hall. We re-signed Kirk, so we got Kirk and Jaron, and then I drafted dude. But yeah, I'd probably go ahead and let Mr. Dobbs go. Not that that makes a lot of difference there. And the rest of these guys, honestly, I don't think many of them matter. Andre Carter, I want to see him play. Ivan Pace, heck yeah, we're keeping him. Um, but yeah, there's not a lot of other significant guys. They're like less than $500,000 either way, so not a huge deal. Okay, so we're still 17 million under the cap for this year and 23 million for next year. We definitely need to sign probably 10 to 20 dudes. You're going to draft, what is it? I think we have 8 or 9 picks this year, somewhere around there. So there's half of it just about. And you got to sign the other half. Doesn't mean they have to be real expensive or anything. So it's going to be tight, guys. It's going to be really tight. I think we had like 3 to 4 million saved just for the draft. So that puts us at about 19, 20 million to sign another 10 to 15 dudes. And usually you sign a lot more than that to check guys out. So I think it's feasible. We can do this. Um, oh, the dead money. Let me show you why we can get away with this. This is going to blow your minds. Okay. This is for this year. We're paying Adam Thielen almost $14 million, and that's going to go off the books at the end of the 2023 season. So next year, that's just new cap room. So that's pretty awesome that we are not paying him 14 freaking $1 million to go play on the Panthers. Same with Dalvin Thompson, 8 million. Zadarius Smith, I'm rounding up, 6 million. Dalvin Cook, 5 million. Jalen Rager, 2.4. Eric Kendricks, 2. Ezra Cleveland, 2. Look at all these dudes we're still paying all this money to, and they're not even on the roster, or at least when this occurred, they weren't on the roster. So all of this money is going to come free. Not all of it for next year, but a big chunk of it for next year. Like the Adam Thielen, I think the Dalvin Tomlinson, Zadarius Smith. That's $25 million that'll come free for next year. I think Dalvin Cook, we still got to pay him one more year, and then that 25 million is basically where we're getting this right now. Okay, so we have a little money to play with, but not a ton. I think you can re-sign Kirk Cousins and Danielle Hunter. But after next year, when you got to re-sign Jefferson and his new ginormous Brinks truck contract kicks in, we can't do it anymore. We're gonna have to probably get rid of Kirk. I'm thinking. I don't know, unless you want to get rid of Danielle or some of these other guys. I think that's what's gonna have to happen is you got to get rid of Kirk's 40 million, draft a rookie quarterback, pay him 2 to 5 million, and then you got all that money left over to put towards Jefferson. So that's what it's looking like to me. So those are my thoughts, guys. I really didn't want to sit here and bore you and go through every single dude, but that's what I'm seeing. And so yeah, all those people that are like, "Oh, you can't re-sign Kirk and Danielle." I think you can actually, because we have so much dead money coming free the next year. But after 2024, when Justin Jefferson's bank breaking contract kicks in, I don't know if you can still keep Kirk and Danielle and Jefferson and be under the cap. That's going to be tough. We will have a little more dead money coming free, but not that much. So yeah, you're basically adding another probably 30 million onto the cap after this next year. And yeah, other guys' contracts will expire, things like that. So that's going to be interesting. But yes, I think you can re-sign Kirk. You can re-sign Danielle, but probably only for 1 year, at least on both of them. So then the tough decisions have to happen in 2024, at the end of 2024. Anyways, leave any comments down below. God bless you all. I hope the game today doesn't suck. I hope we beat the Packers, beat the living crap out of them, and still have a chance. I hope Jaron All comes and shines and gives us something to hope for next season. Anyways, talk to you guys soon. Please let me know what you think. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I need help. I need help. Thank you guys. Take care.